Good morning. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like anyone's going to join me on this Zoom, which is perfectly fine. What I'm going to show you is that we're going to feed our first starter. We're going to get it started. So some of you have the dried starter that I gave you, and we can start with that. Just got to get this off. So let me grab some of that. I frequently dehydrate the starter so that if anything ever went wrong with the starter that I have, I don't have to worry about it. You're going to take about a teaspoon or a little bit more, not all of the contents of what I sent you. You're just going to put that in the jar. And then we're going to turn our scale on. If you don't have a scale, you can use a 1/4 cup measure. And you're going to put in, this is bottled water at room temperature. So you're going to go ahead and zero that out, and you're going to add 55 to 60 grams of water. And then we've got our flour. And we're going to do the same thing with the flour. So if you use a 1/4 cup of water, you're going to use a 1/2 cup of flour. So it's going to be more flour to water. So we're going to use the same measurement. So it's going to be 60 grams of flour, even though it measures out differently. That's why we use a scale. So to make life easy, get yourself a spoon and spoon it in there, because you will think that you can pour it in, but you can't. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put in our 60 grams. Don't mind my dog eating her bone. Go ahead and put that in there. And one more, a little bit. You get towards the end, it can go over fast. Okay, there we go. All right, so now all that we need to do is get our spoon and just mix it together. Just like that. And if you don't have dehydrated flour, you just start with the flour and water and it is just fine. All that that's gonna do is just speed up the process a little bit. All right, so now it should look kind of shaggy, almost like thick pancake batter, okay? And then we just clean off our sides, clean off our spoon. And don't worry about touching it, because actually what you're doing is you're adding bacteria to the jar, and that's what we want. We want that bacteria to help us grow our culture. It is live. Okay, so then we need to mark off where we're at. So let's see what we find to mark it off with. Hang on a second. Usually what I use is a hair tie or one of these little doohickeys. So you can just, it's like an elastic. You just twist it around and you measure where your starting point is. So the top line of the sourdough starter. So right here is where we started. What we're looking for is to see how much it grows overnight. So give it a good day or so, and we're just gonna loosely cover it with the lid. Okay, so you don't have to tighten it too much, but you're not gonna allow a lot of air to go through. You could do it with a tea towel or something like that. Now this is my regular jar. So he's pretty happy right now. You can see all those happy bubbles. That's what we're going for. We're going for happy bubbles. All right, let's talk about gluten-free. Gluten-free is a little bit different in that it ferments actually quicker than regular flour. So that's a good thing. So for that one, we're going to do the same thing, but you'll see the consistency is very different. Okay, so we start with our water. And for this one, you'll do 1 cup and 1 cup because you don't have the same amount of discard. Okay, so we're gonna do 100 grams of water. Splash, splash. And then we're gonna do 100 grams of the gluten-free flour. We get a different spoon. Going to go ahead and level that up. Now you could do 60 and 60 as well. The thing about the gluten-free is that it does tend to absorb a lot of the water, and it'll start to look like cement. That's normal. And a little bit more. Here we go. All right, so now we just mix it up. And you'll see it has this kind of strange color, and it looks a little bit like cement. But that is what you're looking for. And it will not be bubbly as much. It will get a little bit bubbly, but it will not show as much as a regular flour will. But I'll show you what to look for. You're just looking for those little bubbles. Again, mark your jar so you know where you start. You can clean off the inside with a paper towel so that it's nice and clean, and you can actually see where your starting point is. But don't make yourself crazy. This is sourdough made simple. We're not gonna make ourselves too fussy, okay? So that is day 1. Yay! All right, get to it. Let me know when you've done it. Put it in the comments. See ya.